The NSA has been spying on the entire country since the early 2000s. And now the Department of Homeland Security is getting in on the fun, but they're narrowing their focus a little bit. So take a look at this from Forbes. Department of Homeland Security is compiling a database of journalists and media influencers to monitor sentiment broadcasted to public. That doesn't fare well for me. What the fuck? First of all, what's even the argument in theory for collecting this information? Because they do have an argument in theory. The argument is wrong when they say for the NSA, oh, we're doing it because we're trying to stop terrorism. So that's why we're doing it. Now, of course, that's bullshit, because then why are you collecting it on Grandma Maud, who does nothing but watch Murder, She Wrote all day and then goes to, the local supermarket and gets her prune juice? That's not, there's no reason to spy on that person. So, and it's also information overload. You spy on everybody, you collect everybody's information, and then when something actually happens, how the fuck are you going to find it? You have so much data that you don't even know where the fuck to start. So they have a bullshit argument that, oh, we need it for terrorism. That's why we spy on everybody. It's bullshit. They really want it to control you. They really want it to have dirt on everybody. This is Orwell's vision come to life. But now they're saying the Department of Homeland Security, because, media influencers and journalists are a threat to Homeland Security. Actually, no, they're the protectors of it. They're the protectors of it. When we come out here and we talk about what's happening in the country, what your tax dollars are funding, all the wars that we're involved in, the war on workers that's being waged by the elites and the lobbyists and the politicians who've sold out and are massively corrupt. When we talk about those things, it's because we actually care about the safety and security and freedom and well-being of the American people. So when they say, well, we have to fucking monitor the sentiment to broadcast because we need to make sure, everything's on the up and up. Well, who the fuck are you to determine what's on the up and up? You're the government. We don't have a fucking ministry of truth, nor should we, because then who's going to watch the Watchmen? So what am I supposed to believe here? Under Republican administrations, the Department of Homeland Security is going to say what? Every fucking left outlet is, oh my God, they're a threat. Vice versa, too. Under Democratic administrations, every right-wing outlet, oh my God, they're a threat. Who's going to watch the Watchmen? You say we have to monitor this stuff, but then who the fuck is going to watch you? Because I don't trust your ass. I trust you much less than I trust a free, open marketplace of ideas and a broad spectrum of people giving different opinions and angles on news stories. So I don't like a lot of the right-wing outlets, but I wouldn't ban them. I wouldn't monitor them. I wouldn't do any of that. Now, if they say to me, well, no, what we're doing is we're monitoring hate groups that are potential breeding grounds for terrorism, I'd say, okay. Well, number one, any spying you're doing should get a warrant, because that's how the Constitution works. That's the Fourth Amendment. This is the nature of the system. You need to provide evidence before you fucking take away somebody's privacy, okay? So I'd say that. But then also, why would you need to monitor a database, so all journalists and media influencers? Why would you need to do that? Why would you need to do that? You don't need to do that. This is how they try to keep you in line. They have dirt on you. They have all your information, all your secrets, all the things you don't want people knowing. And then they can hold that over your head. Now, I've used this example before. It's not a perfect example, but you get the sense of it here. Look at what happened with Elliot Spitzer. He was the sheriff of Wall Street. Then look at that. The information gets leaked to press outlets that he was seeing prostitutes. Now, he's also a massive hypocrite, because he was cracking down on prostitution as he was using prostitutes. So that hypocrisy is inexcusable, and I think it's fair to point that out. But at the same time, there's a reason why. His stuff got leaked. How'd it get leaked? Why'd it get leaked? Well, they say, oh, saw his credit card information during an investigation of one of these brothels. Well, how'd you know it was his credit card information? They looked and they checked it with whatever database they had that has all this information. They went, that's him. So this is what happens. They can track you. They could spy on you. And if you're a threat enough to the system, then all that stuff can come out. So there is no protection from unreasonable search and seizure anymore. And in a system that was functioning, any judge that would see a case over this would immediately say that entire database needs to be dismantled. The entire NSA database needs to be dismantled. I mean, we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar facility storing everybody's information in Utah. That is so wildly, massively, incredibly unconstitutional. But we're still having a debate about it. It's like torture. Trump signed a pro-torture executive memo. I mean, any check on that from the judiciary would say, okay, the Eighth Amendment protects from cruel and unusual punishment. That is massively unconstitutional. You have to stop. But our system is broken. You know, you're supposed to get a declaration of war when you go to war anywhere. Have we gotten a declaration of war for each of the 8 different interventions we're doing right now? No. They're coasting off a authorization for use of military force from back during the Bush years. They use that today to say, it's okay, we're going to fight Houthis in Yemen. Shia Houthis did not attack the United States. There's no threat to attack the United States by any stretch of the imagination. You don't have to like them, but just point out the fact that they're not attacking the United States. So we're fighting Houthis even though that puts us de facto on the side of Al-Qaeda. But they go, nope, it's the same thing as the authorization for the use of military force against Al-Qaeda. So helping Al-Qaeda in Yemen is the same as fighting Al-Qaeda, which was the original point of the authorization for use of military force. Fuck right off with your bullshit arguments. So there is no privacy anymore. Your privacy rights are gone. They have all your information. And now they're specifically coming for journalists and media influencers. And that's the Department of Homeland Security that's on the case for something that's urgently not needed. You know who needs to be watched? You need to be watched. We don't need to be watched. You need to be watched. And the fact that we're watching you and trying to hold you accountable, that's why you're trying to do counterintelligence. That's exactly what this is.